it can really mess a child up for the rest of their life. Wow, hey YouTube, come sit down with me, let's chat. Today I think I'm going to be doing a little story time. I have a few stories that are pretty crazy that came across my mind at this moment, but I think I'm going to go with my mom. So me and my mom have been on and off, getting along and not getting along for my entire childhood. I didn't have the best childhood, and a lot of it was traumatic for me. So then I made the decision in my life to separate myself from what was going on, and therefore my mother. The rest of my family doesn't seem to understand that, neither do most of the people I meet, except for maybe my best friend who lived through most of it with me, because she's been around for over 10 years. But one day I was staying with my grandmother. We were staying with her actually for several months because we had just gotten into town in a new state and were looking for a place. I was working, and my mom appeared out of nowhere after months of my grandmother trying to get me to talk to her. My mother has always been kind of influenced by things in her life. I found out, now that I'm an adult, I found out from her current husband, boyfriend, whatever he is, that she was under the influence of some very heavy drugs while I was growing up as a child. And now and even as far back as I can remember, she was always drinking. She always had booze in her soda or whatever, but this time it really affected me. We were just chilling at the house, and because I have a little bit of PTSD just from seeing her and shit from my past, I avoided her, and she didn't like that. She patronized me. She would sit outside the door and laugh and tell jokes to my family about, oh, it's so funny that I can't even confront her. And I just decided to sleep it off. But the next morning, after they had been heavily drinking all night, I tried to sneak out on the front porch with my boyfriend, and she, who was not sleeping, decided she would start a whole argument scene, follow me out, scream at me and everything. And I decided to kind of unload on her my past, and she accused me of being fake and being her best friend just last year because I texted her one time asking for her help, as any mother should do for their child, is help their child, which is not something I got a lot during any of my childhood from my mother. But I asked for her help, and of course I never got any, but she thought we were best friends because I talked to her, and that was what she used against me. She cornered me basically outside and grabbed my arm, and I don't exactly remember what all happened. It was a flurry. I went to go and hit her in the chest with whatever was nearest to me. I wanted to hit her right here, and I managed to clock her in the teeth and break her front teeth. Now my grandmother is calling me evil, saying that I'm causing all kinds of trouble, even though she didn't realize that my mom was the one who basically charged up on me when I was just trying to leave peacefully. My mom's sitting there screaming at me, calling me a psycho bitch, and I am literally losing my mind. I had already been on mood stabilizers for some time at that point, I had already gone through a psychotic breakdown, had already been in a mental hospital for a few weeks prior to this whole incident. It was a mess. So I was not in any condition to be having her around me and having these kind of things literally thrown at me. Yeah, she left. I saw her one more time after that when I was moving my ferrets into my grandmother's house because they were spraying my home or something like that. I just had them there for the night, and she did not tell me that my mother was there. And all of a sudden, she popped up off the couch and started whispering and giggling to my brother, and they were, again, patronizing me. I don't quite get it. I don't understand how my mom can be 40 years old and still act like a freaking child. I guess it's whatever she's been influenced with. But I take the high road. I just avoid her. I moved on with my life. I'm always trying to make better for myself. And that's something that she never tried to set up for her own children. She's brainwashed my brother. She tried to brainwash me, but I'm too woke for that. I knew that this is just not how it should be in a child's life. You shouldn't be left on people's staircases that you don't necessarily know, and all the stories that you tell shouldn't be brushed aside as just you're being a silly child. After this event happened, my grandparents kind of opened their eyes when I explained to them the things that I would tell them as a child that would happen to me in my past. They never used to believe me. They outright told me that because I was a child, they thought that I was making more than half of it up, all of it up, and that life couldn't have possibly been so bad. That I was too young to understand what I was talking about. If this is a lesson for anybody, you really need to listen to your children. Because if they are telling you things that they shouldn't understand, they shouldn't be experiencing, at least investigate it. Don't just push them off, because it can really mess a child up for the rest of their life. If you liked my message, you feel like more people should open their eyes, please share this, give it a like. I want to go ahead and try and reach a goal of 50 likes on this video, on any of the other videos that I've previously posted. Go ahead and hit that bell for notifications. This is Ari Rose. Sorry that you had to see me cry. Follow me on social media. Links are always in the description on every video. I do share a little bit more of my social life there. And on my Facebook page, REX Rose, I also started a group. We are now the Rose Buddies Army. See you guys. Bye.